Okay, all you dusty guys and dusty gals, attic stairs. We're going to put in attic stairs today, and this is it's a kind of a difficult project, so you can figure on working on it all day long. Maybe I would take a weekend to do it. But as far as the layout, that's what scares most people. The layout and the cutting of the ceiling, you know, wondering if they're going to cut into a major joist or a supporting wall or something. And it's not that difficult if you just take your time, and I'll show you what to look for before you even begin to cut into your ceiling. And also to be able to cut a square parallelogram or a trapezoid or something like that to where you get your attic stair in there straight. Alright, the first thing, what we'll do is we'll take this box and we're going to cut it along the creased edges, because that is the exact size of the rough opening that you need to cut. Okay, well, what we do is this is the size of the hole that we need to cut in the ceiling. Okay? And so, what we do, we take this is our template, and as you can see, my knife cutting abilities is not all that great. Alright, and there we got it. And what we'll do is then we're going to put this on the ceiling where we want the attic stair. Okay. Okay. Now, as you can get up there, we're going to tack it up. That's where our attic stair is going to go. And the nice thing about it is that we can move it around to where it looks the best. But in that case, that's about as good as we're going to do it. So I'm fixing to give Eric a hammer. You want to do this? Or you don't need to do that? I'll go on the ceiling. Okay.
You think? Not as good as Eddie.
Yeah. All right, we're going to send Eric up the ladder, and we're going to find one of the ceiling joists. Okay, let's see. Come over this way about a foot from that wall there, Eric.
Right here?
Yeah, right in there. Knock a hole in that wall. All right, now come back towards me. Keep coming back towards me. All right, now, can you tell where the ceiling joist is? Hopefully it's going to be back. May have to poke you a bigger hole so you can get your arm up in there.
Yeah. Got one right about here.
Okay, take your hammer and just kind of get you a bigger hole so we can find out where the edge of it is. That's about it right there?
That's about it.
Okay. Alright. Good deal. This. Okay, here you go. Just hold that over here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this at where the joist is, and then we'll carry this so that we're straight with this wall so that we can mark the ceiling. And like I said, we don't want to carry too much about the ceiling joist. We want it more parallel with the wall because it's going to look better. But what we use this for is we use this to where we'll go back as close as we can to this stud here, that ceiling joist, so we have one good ceiling joist to hit. Now, we take our two marks, we got this mark and this mark, move this over, line it up, and we'll put some screws in here, just to kind of hold it in place so we can get it marked. You can see we have our template, and this is at the point to where if you want to move it, you can move it now. Okay, you can see our ceiling joist is in there a little crooked. That's why I say we want it straight with the wall here. It's
instead of at this end here, because we can shim this, make that work. Because it's going to look a lot better if we have the trim that's going along that edge straight with the crown molding. Alright, now we just follow our pencil around this. And as anything, this is just a rough measurement. This won't be our finished cut. Okay, double check, make sure you got everything marked. Check it real well. Because you only want to do this one time. Well, as they say in the real world, we're committed now. Alright. Now what we'll do is we'll get the cleanup crew in here and we'll clean up our mess and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright. Okay. Now as I was telling you earlier, we've got an electrical line up here. So hopefully there's enough slack in it to where we can move it. But now what we'll do is we'll straighten up our cut so that we're pretty well parallel with the crown molding on this wall. And then we'll come in and then I'll show you how to mark it to cut out to get ready to put our 2x6 joist up there so that we can put our attic stair in. Okay, what we're doing now is we're coming in and we're getting a little bit more precise. You can see that small mark we have right there. That's the distance from the crown molding over. We took both ends, this end, that end, and that mark right there that you see is what we have that we need to trim off. Now we come from this side to this other side, and we'll get these two marks, that mark, and that one over there that Eric did. And we'll straight line that so we can trim up our crooked edge, because now is when we need to be a little bit more precise about what we do. Okay, what we're doing is now this 2x needs to sit flush with the edge of our sheetrock, but up inside the attic. So what we do is we put it right on the edge of our mark, a pencil mark on the back side. Alright, if you'll run that pencil mark on down there, Eric. Alright. Now we're going to do the same thing to this side. I gotta move this over. We're going to put it with the edge of our sheetrock, and then we're going to mark the back side. Alright, we'll mark that back side. Okay, that it? You got it all. I got the 2x. Okay, now what we're going to do is where we made our lines, we're not cutting all of this out. All we're doing is cutting right here where our 2x4s are. So we'll cut this 2x4, then we'll come over here and we'll cut this one. But what we'll do is we're going to run it all the way up through our sheetrock and just cut right straight across. Okay. You were asking me, how do we cut that 2x4, this 2x4 up here? How do you know where to cut that? Is that what you're asking?
Right, that's correct.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll run our Sawzall up all the way through the sheetrock up into the ceiling, and what we'll just cut just right here. We won't cut all the sheetrock out. We're just going to cut just that so that we can get this 2x4 out of there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
And then you just have to come back and just patch that little bit at the end.
Well, no, what happens is when we do cut across here, when we put our attic stair in, our trim will come over and cover that sock cut.
Oh, okay.
Because we want our stair flush with the edge of the sheetrock.
So, yeah, it makes completely good sense on that now.
Does, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get the cutting.
All right. Lee, looking at these beams going across here, what's going to keep the ceiling from falling once we cut through these 2x4s, these rafters up here?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Eric. What we'll do is we're going to come in and we're going to put, even though there is a strong back on the other side of where this light fixture is, it's too far away to support these joists. So what we'll do is the easiest thing, there's one or two ways, and the way we're going to do this one is we're going to run some supports from the ceiling down to the floor. And it'll probably, all we need is just a couple of them with one going across the ceiling itself. Now the other way that we could do it is we could put us a 2x6 across all the rafters that we're cutting out and nail or screw them, and then when we get through then we can just pull that up. But in this case, since we're going to be decking the floor, we just assume just to support it down here. Is that going to help your answer?
That will. I'm interested to see how this turns out.
Okay. Okay, now you can see where I've made a cut along where each one of the joists are. Now what you do is then you come up inside and you put your speed square flat against the sheetrock at your mark where you just made your saw mark, so that you can make your straight line, so that you want to cut this as straight as you can. That way you can do part of the cutting underneath and you can do some of it on top, because you want to have this cut down as straight as you can. And you want to do each one of them the same way.
Alright, Lee, I see we got our braces in here, so now it's time for us to start cutting the support beams, huh?
That's correct, yeah. So see, we got this up there, and that's going to support those three ceiling joists right there. So that when we cut these, because of that long span across there, there won't be any chance of that falling, and we left enough room in between where we're cutting to be able to get our joist in there and nail all them up flush. All right, here we go. One more time. Okay, what we'll do is we'll cut this side off first, and then we'll come in and cut this side here, so that we get, it doesn't matter which side we do. You could do either side first, but I always feel like this is a little easier either way. Whichever you're, if you're right-handed or left-handed, you can figure out which way you want to cut first. Okay, we're going to cut these out. Okay, we're fixing to cut our last 2x out of here. You can see I follow that pencil line so that we can get a halfway straight cut in the attic. That's all there is to it. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll get our 2x6s and run in here and then come